You did the first nude scene, you're 72 years old. How did that come about?
It was in Space Cowboys, and Clint Eastwood, he wanted to shoot our rear ends.
Were you pleased with how the scene came out?
No, frankly, I had the best looking rear end there.
10 years after we said goodbye to the legendary James Garner, his daughter brings to light a truth many have long suspected about his legacy. Garner, known for roles that mirrored his real-life charm and integrity, truly made a mark not just with his memorable roles, but also through his real-life virtues. So why should you keep an ear out? Well, Garner might have been the picture of charisma and resilience on screen, but his story off-screen is as gritty as it gets, full of dark twists that would give any Hollywood script a run for its money. Early life and family background. Born into the rugged landscapes of Oklahoma, his life was anything but easy. With a father of German descent and a mother who was half Cherokee, James's early years were steeped in a melting pot of cultures. However, tragedy struck early when his mother passed away, leaving young James and his brothers to navigate the rough waters of life without her guiding hand. The Garner household was no stranger to turmoil, especially with the arrival of Wilma, the stepmother from hell. Imagine, if you will, a woman so cruel that she'd make Cinderella's stepmother look like a saint. Beating the boys was her go-to, but she didn't stop there. No, she took her wickedness up a notch by humiliating James, forcing him to wear a dress in public. It's the stuff of nightmares, really. But James wasn't one to cower. At the ripe age of 14, he fought back, literally knocking some sense into Wilma, or at least trying to. She left, and frankly, nobody missed her. But every cloud has its silver lining, and for James, that was Grace, his last stepmother. She was the beacon of love and warmth he so desperately needed. James didn't just consider her a stepmother. She was Mama Grace, the real MVP in his turbulent journey to adulthood. It's a testament to the fact that sometimes family is more than just blood. It's about the bonds we forge along the way. Entry into the military service. Moving forward, life threw another curveball when James's dad packed up for Los Angeles, leaving him and his brothers behind. Stuck in Norman, James found himself bouncing from one dead-end job to another until the call of the sea became too loud to ignore. He joined the U.S. Merchant Marine seeking adventure and a break from his mundane life. But alas, the seasickness. It's almost comical, isn't it? Here was a guy ready to take on the world, only to be bested by the waves. After his maritime misadventures, James reunited with his father in Los Angeles, enrolling at Hollywood High School. Who would have thought? James Garner, the most popular kid in school. It's like something out of a teen movie. But fate, with its ironic sense of humor, nudges him into the world of modeling Jantzen bathing suits. It pays a pretty penny, sure, but James? He can't stand it. Not one to sell his soul for $25 an hour, he ditches the swimwear and heads back to Norman, where the real him thrives on the football field, the basketball court, and the track, though the classroom's charms elude him, leading to a premature exit stage left from high school. Military service wasn't easy on him. But here's where the plot thickens. James Garner, not one to tread the beaten path, signs up with the California Army National Guard. It's a twist no one saw coming, least of all him. Stationed in California, life seems straightforward until the Korean War decides it's time for James to play his part on a much grimmer stage. Deployed to Korea with the 5th Regimental Combat Team, he swaps the football for a rifle, becoming a real-life hero in a war that's anything but make-believe. The Korean Peninsula teaches him lessons no classroom could, with bullets and mortar rounds serving as brutal tutors. James doesn't just face the music, he dances to it, wounded twice. With the first injury from a mortar round. Yep, you heard that right. Shrapnel to the face and hand. If war had a calling card, that was it, reminding him and everyone else about the ever-present danger lurking on the battlefield. But hold on, the story gets even more bizarre. The second accident sounds like something straight out of a slapstick comedy, except it was anything but funny at the time. It happened when Garner was seeking refuge in a foxhole, only to be greeted by friendly fire right in the rear. Talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. His comment? There was a lot of room involving my rear end. How could they miss? Only someone with a bulletproof sense of humor could laugh off an incident like that. Now, on to the medals. The Purple Heart isn't handed out like candy at a parade. It's a badge of honor, symbolizing the blood, sweat, and tears shed in service. Our man didn't just earn one, but was eligible for a second thanks to that friendly fire fiasco. Friendly fire incidents are no laughing matter, usually stemming from grave mistakes or misunderstandings. Yet in his case, it was recognized as a part of the chaotic dance of war. Here's the kicker. The second Purple Heart took its sweet time, arriving 32 years late due to a paperwork blunder. Can you imagine? It's like ordering a pizza and having it arrive 3 decades later. Sure, you're not hungry anymore, but you've got to appreciate the delivery guy finally showing up. Garner's take on it? Better now than in a box. That's classic Garner for you, finding the humor in a situation that would have most people seeing red. Digging into Garner's past reveals a man who's seen his share of life's rough patches, especially during his time in Korea. It wasn't all camaraderie and heroic charges, it was cold, hard, and unyielding. Yet amidst the bleakness, Garner found moments worth cherishing, especially when reuniting with those who shared the trenches with him. His reflection on these times isn't just a stroll down memory lane, it's an acknowledgement of the thin line between making it out and becoming a statistic. And Garner? He considered himself one of the lucky ones, a sentiment that speaks volumes about the man's humility and perspective on life. Garner found love. Now, let's not forget about the love story that sounds like it's straight out of a Hollywood script, because in a way, it was. Garner, the man who could charm the socks off just about anyone, found himself utterly smitten after bumping into Lois Josephine Fleischman Clark at a party. Their love story was a whirlwind of dinners and deep conversations, culminating in a marriage just 2 weeks after they met. And if you're thinking this sounds like a recipe for disaster, think again. Garner, ever the joker, claimed their honeymoon nearly bankrupted him with a whopping $77 bill. Talk about high roller spending. Now, not everyone was on board with this union. James' family was hesitant because he and Clark seemed worlds apart. He was an Oklahoma-born Methodist, and she was a Jewish gal from Los Angeles. But for James, their different religious backgrounds weren't a hurdle. He felt that religion wasn't a big deal for either of them. He often pointed out that the critics missed how well he and Clark balanced each other out. What some saw as potential flaws, they viewed as strengths in their partnership. Garner had a pretty grounded view of marriage. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, but then again, neither was Korea. He likened it to the army. You might grumble and groan, but there's a strange pull that keeps you coming back for more. His humor masked a deep-seated love and respect for his wife Lois, whose faith and background added yet another layer to their rich, multifaceted relationship. And let's not forget about Kim, Lois's daughter from a previous marriage, who Garner embraced with open arms, proving that family isn't always defined by blood. Together, they built a life that was as challenging as it was rewarding, with Garner stepping into the role of stepfather with the ease of a born natural. Fast forward to January 4th, 1958. And here's where the narrative gets even more interesting with the arrival of Greta Gigi Garner, adding yet another layer of joy and fulfillment to their family narrative. Despite Garner's public persona as one of Hollywood's most beloved actors, his most prized roles were those he played off-screen, a loving husband and father. The love story between James and Lois was one for the ages, enduring until Garner's last breath in 2014, a couple of separations with his lover. James and Lois's relationship, while remarkable, faced its fair share of challenges. Their life together wasn't always smooth, experiencing a couple of separations that tested their commitment to each other. The first significant pause in their relationship occurred in 1970, lasting for 3 months. This break seemed minor compared to the length of their relationship, but was the first test of their bond. The second, more substantial separation happened in 1979, lasting for 2 years. This time, the cause wasn't a problem between them, but the external demands of James's career, particularly his role in the Rockford Files. His dedication to the show took a toll on him, both physically, with his arthritic knees, and mentally, as he shouldered the series' success. These challenges led him to take a step back from Hollywood, focusing on his health and well-being. These periods of separation were more like necessary pauses rather than endings, allowing James to focus on his health and well-being, ensuring he could be the best for himself and his family. His time away from Lois wasn't a sign of diminishing love, but rather an indication of his deep commitment to their life together. Their story took a positive turn when they reunited in September 1981, marking a period of resilience, mutual understanding, and a deepened commitment to one another. This reunion underscored the strength and depth of their relationship. Unfortunately, their journey together came to an end when James passed away in 2014, just shy of their 58th wedding anniversary. Lois's passing followed in October 2021. Their story, however, transcends their lives, leaving behind a legacy of love, resilience, and commitment that is increasingly rare. James and Lois's life together is not just a tale of two people, but a narrative of enduring love that continues to inspire political activism and beliefs. But let's not pigeonhole Garner as just another Hollywood icon. He was a man of conviction, a staunch supporter of the Democratic Party. This wasn't about attending fancy fundraisers or simply aligning with popular opinion. Garner put his money where his mouth was, contributing a cool $29,000 over the years, with a staggering $224,000 of that going directly to Democratic candidates. He wasn't just a bystander in the political arena. He was in the trenches, supporting causes and candidates like Dennis Kucinich, Dick Gephardt, John Kerry, and Barbara Boxer, to name just a few. His commitment wasn't just financial. Garner was on the front lines of change, marching alongside Martin Luther King Jr. in the historic March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. That's right, Garner wasn't there just to make up numbers. He was there as a testament to his solid stance on civil rights and social justice. Listening to King's vision of racial equality didn't just give him goosebumps, it resonated with him on a profound level, inspiring not just Garner, but everyone lucky enough to be in that crowd. His presence there wasn't a mere celebrity cameo. It was a clear declaration of his commitment to leveraging his platform for the greater good. Flash forward to 1985, and there's Garner in the CBS miniseries Space, based on James A. Missioner's epic. Here's where it gets juicy. Garner's character, originally penned as a Republican, underwent a party switcheroo to Democrat to align with Garner's own political leanings. Garner, ever the joker, quipped, "My wife would leave me if I played a Republican." It's not just a laugh. It's a peek into how Garner's roles intertwined with his personal convictions, showcasing how seriously he took the impact of his on-screen personas on his real-life values. Then there was the time California was buzzing with the possibility of Garner stepping into the political arena. The year was 1990, and Democratic Party leaders were practically tripping over themselves to court Garner for the governor's race. I mean, it was all perfect. Garner, the beloved actor, taking up the position to potentially shake up California politics. But as fate would have it, Dianne Feinstein stepped into the spotlight for the Democrats, and the rest, as they say, is history. This episode, though, wasn't just a blip in Garner's life. It underscored the real political clout he wielded, the kind that had party leaders knocking at his door. Health challenges and resilience. Now, let's not forget the battles Garner fought off-screen. During the heydays of the Rockford Files, Garner found himself in a bit of a pickle, and not the kind you'd find on a craft services table. His knees, those crucial joints for any action star, started giving him more trouble than a villain in a chase scene. It wasn't just a once-off. Garner's knees became the bane of his existence, enduring a whopping 6 or 7 surgeries. I mean, you can only imagine the dedication it takes to keep rolling despite such pain. And then, as the new millennium dawned, Garner decided enough was enough. Both knees got a full makeover. Knee replacement surgery was on the cards. This wasn't just about getting back in action. It was about reclaiming his life from years of wear and tear. Fast forward to April 22, 1988, and Garner faced what might have been his most daunting stunt yet: quintuple bypass heart surgery. We're talking a major overhaul here, bypassing 5 blocked arteries to keep his heart ticking. The man's recovery was nothing short of miraculous, proving Garner's grit wasn't just for the cameras. However, kicking the smoking habit post-surgery turned out to be a tougher scene to shoot. It took him 17 years, but in 2005, Garner finally gave cigarettes the boot, a move that undoubtedly scored him some bonus health points. But the plot thickens. On May 11, 2008, Garner was hit with a plot twist no one saw coming: a severe stroke. Surgery was immediately on the table, and while the prognosis was good, it was a stark reminder of the battles Garner faced off-screen. This man wasn't just acting tough. He was the real deal, staring down life's challenges with the same resolve he brought to his roles. Garner's daughter reveals the sad truth. Gigi Garner's reflections provide a deeply personal insight into the life of her father, James Garner, offering a perspective that goes far beyond the glitz and glamour associated with his career in the entertainment industry. The everyday realities of living in a household headed by a figure of such notable public stature exposed her to the multifaceted challenges that accompany fame. Hollywood's glittering facade often belies the pressures and demands placed on its stars, and James Garner was no exception. Gigi's account sheds light on her father's behind-the-scenes life, detailing the emotional and physical strains that his profession inflicted upon him. James Garner, adored by fans worldwide for his charm and talent, faced a myriad of personal battles away from the public eye. His health struggles and the emotional weight of his career choices were aspects of his life that, until Gigi's revelations, were largely unknown to the public. In her narrative, Gigi conveys the complexity of her father's experiences with fame. While James Garner was a committed and loving patriarch, his professional obligations often led to prolonged absences from home. This left Gigi and her sister to rely heavily on their mother for guidance and support through their formative years. James Garner's dedication to his craft was undeniable, but it came at a significant cost. Gigi illuminates the personal sacrifices made by her father in pursuit of his career, highlighting the dichotomy between his public persona and private struggles. The constant scrutiny from the media and the intense demands of his acting roles were perpetual sources of strain on the family's dynamics. Moreover, Gigi delves into the professional challenges her father encountered, including contentious legal disputes with major studios. These confrontations, particularly his lawsuit against Warner Brothers over The Rockford Files, introduced a layer of financial and emotional uncertainty that reverberated throughout their household. Yet, Gigi's recounting of her father's life story is not one mired in sorrow, but rather a testament to his resilience and fortitude. She admires his capacity to navigate adversity, his unwavering passion for his work, and his deep-rooted commitment to his loved ones. The exit of a legend. Fast forward to July 19, 2014, a date that marked the end of an era. The entertainment world lost one of its finest jewels, James Garner, at the ripe age of 86. The stage was his Brentwood, Los Angeles home, and the cause? A heart attack, a final blow delivered by coronary artery disease. Garner's departure left a void that felt as vast as his career, signaling the loss of a true Hollywood stalwart. His health battles, particularly the stroke in 2008, had taken a toll, but through it all, Garner stood tall, a testament to his enduring strength and unwavering determination. The news of his passing echoed through the industry like a somber melody, eliciting heartfelt tributes from peers, friends, and admirers. Tom Selleck, a fellow icon and Garner's co-star in The Rockford Files, remembered him not just as a mentor, but as a dear friend, a reflection of the deep personal bonds Garner had forged. Sally Field, his counterpart in Murphy's Romance, shared her grief openly, her words painting a picture of a man greatly admired and deeply missed. And then there was Clint Eastwood, a man of few words and many squints, who tipped his hat to Garner's legacy. He credited Garner with paving the way for actors like himself, acknowledging the doors Garner's pioneering spirit had opened for many in Tinseltown. He left a legacy. But let's not forget about Gigi Garner, James Garner's daughter, who carries a piece of her father's legacy on her wrist, the Heuer Carrera watch. A symbol of their shared love for racing and a token of her father's affection, this watch is more than just a timepiece. It's a treasure chest of memories. Gigi, much like her father, has a heart for giving back, channeling her efforts into the James Garner Animal Rescue Fund. This initiative isn't just a tribute to her father's legacy, it's a continuation of his love for animals, a cause both held dear. The watch, the races, the fund, it all comes together to paint a vivid picture of a bond that transcends time, a legacy that goes beyond the silver screen. Now, when it comes to James Garner's legacy, we're talking about a tale of true grit. It's all about navigating life's challenges with the kind of grace and wit he always displayed, whether on camera or off. His life encourages us to look beyond the surface glamour of our idols, to recognize the real struggles they endure. Yet it's perhaps the moment when Morgan Freeman led a sing-along of the Maverick theme song at the Screen Actors Guild Awards that best captures Garner's legacy. A legacy marked by admiration, respect, and a touch of that indomitable spirit he was known for. James Garner was more than just a list of achievements. He was a reminder that in a world of make-believe, authenticity and kindness can still shine through. What do you think about James Garner? Make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment letting us know. Thanks for watching.